Our salutations to Thakur Ma Swamiji and our pranams to revered Maharaj Ji. We are starting our class on lectures from Colombo to Almora. We are reading from page number 101 of the 33rd reprint, June 2011. So we are discussing the mission of the Vedanta. When I was in America, I heard once the complaint made that I was preaching too much of Advaita and too little of dualism. I know what grandeur, what ocean of love, what infinite ecstatic blessings and joy there are in the dualistic love theories of worship and religion. I know it all, but this is not the time with us to weep even in joy. We have had weeping enough. No more is this the time for us to become soft. This softness has been with us till we have become like masses of cotton and are dead. What our country now wants are muscles of iron and nerves of steel, gigantic wills which nothing can resist, which can penetrate into the mysteries and the secrets of the universe and will accomplish their purpose in any fashion, even if it meant going down to the bottom of the ocean and meeting death face to face. That is what we want, and that can only be created, established, and strengthened by understanding and realizing the ideal of the Advaita, that ideal of the oneness of all. Faith in ourselves, faith in God. This is the secret of greatness. If you have faith in all the 330 millions of your mythological gods and in all the gods which foreigners have now and again introduced into your midst, and still have no faith in yourselves, there is no salvation for you. Have faith in yourselves and stand up on that faith and be strong. That is what we need. Why is it that we 330 millions of people have been ruled for the last 1000 years by any and every handful of foreigners who chose to walk over our prostrate bodies? Because they had faith in themselves and we had not. What did I learn in the West, and what did I see behind those frothy sayings of the Christian sects repeating that man was a fallen and hopelessly fallen sinner? There I saw that inside the national hearts of both Europe and America reside the tremendous power of the men's faith in themselves. An English boy will tell you, I am an Englishman and I can do anything. The American boy will tell you the same thing, and so will any European boy. Can our boys say the same thing here? No, nor even the boys' fathers. We have lost faith in ourselves. Therefore, to preach the Advaita aspect of the Vedanta is necessary to rouse up the hearts of men, to show them the glory of their souls. It is therefore that I preach this Advaita, and I do so not as a sectarian, but upon universal and widely acceptable grounds.
Yeah. So, what is the gist?
So the gist is one should have the self-confidence, Atma Shraddha, and to boost that, Advaita is the only path, according to Swamiji.
Okay. Yeah. So, Atma Shraddha, self-confidence is the root key for all our success. That is what he is telling in this whole para. So, when we have got Shraddha towards the God, God exists, God will take care of us, God will protect us, that is called Bhakti. So, having faith in the God is what Bhakti. Having faith in oneself is what self-confidence. So, Swamiji is telling self-confidence is more important. And he's saying that, oh, you only spoke of Advaita Vedanta more, you didn't speak of dualistic philosophy. And especially even his own brother disciples, monastic disciples, they said, you didn't preach Ramakrishna name at all, or hardly you spoke. I mean, here and there, no doubt, but mostly you speak Advaita Vedanta only. Why? So he was criticized by his own brother disciples. So for that is giving reason why I am not speaking dualistic religions. In dualistic religions, love is fine, it is very good, but with that crying and weeping, all these things happens. By that, we have got enough bhakti movement already in India, which has made weak, which protect us, which uplifted us, protected us for a good amount of time, no doubt, but it also has made us weak. That's the reason Tom, Dick, and Harry came and they tried to rule us, and we were got ruled. And we keep crying, oh God, why are you not protecting? Why are you not protecting? And we keep complaining, we keep on lamenting, commenting, and crying. We don't take swords or we don't take things into our hands, and we don't try to protection. That's a one aspect of the culture. There's other aspect where there are a number of people who have protested. As a result, still our religion and our country is safe to the larger extent. But however, the softness has been taken over in the Indian culture in the name of ahimsa, or in the name of bhakti, or in the name of punya. So Swamiji is saying that's the reason I have taught Advaita Vedanta, which all these limitations as can be taken care through the Bhakti Marga. That doesn't mean that he is undermining the Bhakti. He says that I understand the efficacy of it, importance of it, but that also can bring a weakness or a softness, like a soaked puffed rice or soaked beaten rice, poha. So like that one can become. So that's the reason I'm speaking of Advaita Vedanta. And what type of Advaita Vedanta I'm speaking? There, I'm asking people to make oneself strong, where muscles of iron and nerves of steel and gigantic wills. So Swamiji's vision, Swamiji's dream on us is what? Swamiji is expecting us, muscles of iron, nerves of steel, and gigantic will. So our willpower should be strong. Then only our dreams can be converted into facts. I thought I'll become a doctor. I started my pursuit, started my education and all. I tried, no doubt, but somehow I couldn't become doctor. I became the compounder or pharmacist or something else. So I had some desire, but that I had some target also. Then while traveling, I fell down. It happens with most of us. Why? Because of lack of willpower. Because of lack of willpower, lack of efforts. Because of that lack of skills, there can be many things. So if you have got a strong willpower, detrimental power, so our desires can be made as facts. I wanted to become doctor, I became doctor. I wanted to become scientist, I became scientist. I wish to become monk, I have become monk. So when, when our desires can be facts, actuals, that is with a gigantic power. And Swamiji said that we need a gigantic willpower. So much so that if anyone wish, he should be able to go to the corner of the bottom of the ocean or the tipmost of the Himalayan mountains and explore the secrets of the universe. So basically, one should make their body and mind fit enough so that he can achieve anything and everything. That's what Swamiji is saying that. And that type of Advaita Vedanta I'm speaking. So in that Advaita Vedanta, what is that? It is a self-confidence. Not confidence in my parents, in my country, in the God, or in XYZ. It is the confidence in oneself. That is more important, he said. And he says, the old religion speaks, one who has got a faith in the God, he is called Astika. And who doesn't have faith in God, he is called Nastika. We all know that. But if you see, this is the later part of definition. In the classical Indian philosophy, this was never the case. Whoever has got faith in Vedas, they were called Astikas. And who didn't had faith in the Vedas, in the authority of the Vedas, they were called Nastikas. Even you may accept God or not, but if you accept Vedas, then you are called Astikas. That was our traditional Indian classical definition. Now Swamiji has given a modern interpretation. What is that? One who has got faith in himself is called Astika. One who doesn't have faith in oneself, he has got Nastika. Then, oh well, I don't have faith in myself, but have got faith in God. Then am I Nastika? So according to Swami Vivekananda, yes. He says, why? Elsewhere he says very clearly, if I don't have faith in myself properly, I can't have faith in God also. And he speaks of 330 millions, 33 crores of God. We keep saying that all this. We have got 33 crores, 33 crores. Can we list out? Have anyone has tried? No, no one has tried. Simply we make mentioning this, and also other Semitic religion people and other countries, Western countries, they mark at us saying that, oh, you have got 33 crores of God. This is because of the rank translation of the word koti in the Sanskrit. The word Sanskrit, the Sanskrit word koti has got two meanings. One is, generally we all know that koti means crore. 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, 10 crores. Okay. The other is koti means type or category. Now, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it comes in section 9, it comes, Yajnavalkya says, there are 33 gods. And who are those 33 gods? Ashta Vasus, 8 Vasus, Ekadasha Rudras, 11 Rudras, and Dvadasha Adityas, 12 Adityas, and Indra and Prajapati. Put together 33. So 33 crores means what? 33 types or 33 categories of the deities. That was told actually, but when translation was done in the local language or in the English language or from the Westerners, unfortunately, it was translated as 33 crore gods, and that's how we've been walked and we make a laugh of ourselves from ours or others that we have got 33 crore gods or 330 millions of gods. So we don't have 330 millions of God or 33 crores God. We don't have. So 33 crores means what? 33 types or categories. And Swami is saying that if you have got a faith in 33 crore gods, and even if a new God comes tomorrow, and even the Westerners or the Semitic religions, they gave their own concept of gods, even that also has been added. If you have got the faith in all of them, and if you don't have faith in yourself, then you are a Nastika. That is not much of use. That's what Swami is saying that. So one should have a faith in oneself. That is what very important. And Christians say we are born sinners, and Vedanta doesn't accept. We are intrinsically divine beings. So we are traveling from error to the truth, or from small error, big error to small error, or the most from error to the truth, Swami is telling. So that is the reason which makes us strong, which is rational, and etc. That is the reason I taught more Advaita Vedanta than the dualistic schools of Vedanta. Swami is giving the grounds on what basis why he spoke Advaita Vedanta more. And apart from that, if you see from the Western point of view, if he speaks dualistic schools of Vedanta, they've got already their schools, dualistic schools. Then they say, oh, it's one more ism, one more philosophy, they would not have accepted. When he said Vedanta, which is very philosophical, rational, logical and all, so that's the reason many people said, okay, so this is not faith-based religion or faith-based philosophy, it is a rational-based philosophy, logic-based philosophy, and it is experience-based philosophy. That's how many people understood, accepted, appreciated the Vedanta. That is also a very important thing. Yeah, let us go to the next para.
Yes. It is easy to find out the way of reconciliation that will not hurt the dualist or the qualified monist. There is not one system in India which does not hold the doctrine that God is within, that divinity resides within all things. Every one of our Vedantic systems admits that all purity and perfection and strength are in the soul already. According to some, this perfection sometimes becomes, as it were, contracted, and at other times it becomes expanded again. Yet it is there. According to the Advaita, it neither contracts nor expands, but becomes hidden and uncovered now and again. Pretty much the same thing in effect. The one may be a more logical statement than the other, but as to the result, the practical conclusions, both are about the same, and this is the one central idea which the world stands in need of. And nowhere is the want more felt than in this, our own motherland.
Yeah. What is the gist of this?
That all schools of Vedanta are actually preaching the same thing, which is that the purity and perfection and strength are already within us.
So, yeah. Any other answers?
Maharaj, this expansion contraction thing is not clear.
Yeah, I will tell you. So I'm just telling very clearly, all Indian schools of philosophy, of course, here except Charvaka philosophy, materialistic school of philosophy, no doubt. So all of them are accepting that there is a soul, there is a permanent soul which is pure, perfect, which is pure and perfect. So everyone accepts. So that is the central core philosophy of all the Indian philosophies. Because some may accept God or not, some may accept heaven or not, but everyone except materialistic philosophy, Charvaka philosophy, everyone accepts the existence of the soul, which is pure and perfect in nature. And the nature of pure and perfection and other things, there may be a differentiation, or there may have got different opinions, but about the existence of soul and its nature, pure and perfection, intrinsic nature, is been accepted by all Indian systems of philosophy. That is the very important thing, and that should be accept. I mean, that is very important, and it is most essential for the entire world or globe, according to Swamiji. Now Swamiji is using that there are some philosophies who says that it as it were contracted, and other times it becomes expanded again. So this comes similar, I mean, more or less near to it in a Nayayika or Vaisheshika philosophy. The logical realism and logical syllogism, Nyaya and Vaisheshika philosophy, there they feel that Papa and Punya, because of Punya, because of good merits, the soul expands, and because of Papa, because of sin, bad actions, the soul, it, contracts. That is what their opinion actually, anyhow. That's what Swamiji is saying. And when it comes to Sankhya and Yoga, they understand Sat and Ananda aspect, or Sat and Chit aspect. Ananda is not told very clearly. Whereas in Advaita Vedanta alone, or in the Vedanta, Sat, Chit, Ananda, all the three aspects has been well beautifully defined. That is what Swamiji is trying to understand, I mean, explain here. And which is very important, which is the central idea, which needs, the whole world needs this idea. Is telling about the intrinsic divinity, intrinsic nature of the soul, that is the divine. I am divine, you are divine, we are all divine, is very important. Yeah.
That by Punna soul expands and by Papa soul contracts means what we say, that our heart is becoming bigger, broader, that type. Soul expand
Oh,
means what?
no, not like that. Just they say so. I mean, they don't go into detail. They only say that soul expands.
And expands and what happens?
Soul expands means soul becomes big. That's all. When your heart expands, when you say, what happens?
I can feel for
Does really
others.
heart expands? Does it really heart expands?
So I can feel for more people, or means I can be more selfless like that. And contracts means I become more selfish, self-centered and all. So that is
So
the,
same thing. So if, when your soul expands means what? Again, you will be meritorious. You are very lucky. You will get all things done. Less resistance, less problems, less challenges. All these things. When the soul contracts means what? You have got more problems, more resistance, and you are away from the self, or you are away from the God, or you are away from the reality.
Maharaj, in life of Swami Vivekananda, we have seen at the last of his life, he has told that my heart is becoming so large that it can accommodate the whole universe in it, like that. It's a compassion for everyone and all this. So that is the soul expansion also can be described as such.
Sorry, just a minute. Sorry, I lost your argument. Sorry. Yeah, please.
It's not an argument, it's just a query. So I just said that in the last we have seen that in Swami Vivekananda's life, he has been telling his with the brother monks that, look, my heart is increasing and increasing in size. It's such a way that the whole universe is coming into the being, and the compassion for everyone, every mankind, every living being is feeling the warmth or pain or whatever it may be. So that is the thing he had talked once, as I did somewhere. So is the soul expansion can be defined as such?
Okay.
Maharaj,
No, their
cosmic
soul
heart.
is actually heart.
Sorry, Maharaj. Is it Dada is telling Swamiji is one place he has mentioned about cosmic heart. So when the heart become cosmic heart, then when the soul expands, then only the heart. When one can say that it's cosmic heart, it's unified with the universe.
Yes, so that means it can feel for others and think, feel the oneness with others. That is expansion. That others are actually me, means I am in different forms. So oneness with others. That is expansion.
See, when you are comparing, you have to be very clear and you have to be very cautious. Any statement we cannot simply compare with any other philosophies. So when Swamiji is saying that my heart is expanding so big that where it is engulfing entire world or universe or everyone, so he is speaking of the heart. So it is what Karuna, Daya. Okay. So it is not physical expansion, it is rather mental cognition. So as you told very clearly, that he is becoming selfless. He is able to see the God or the divinity or the Atman in everyone. So he's feeling for everyone. There is no pseudo I or limited I. That I is getting expanded. Okay, that is what. So there, it is from the Vedantic point of view. So now whatever Swamiji is saying, that contracting and expansion, this is from Nyaya Vaisheshika philosophy point of view. Now everyone, both of them have got different ways of understanding the self. That is where we have to be a bit careful. So just you cannot correlate Swamiji's expansion of heart and this same thing or what. No.
Yes,
That's what
because
I'm trying
here
to.
it
That is
is
what I'm trying to tell you.
means here
Okay.
he is already mentioning that Advaita it neither contracts nor expands. Means since Advaita this concept is not there, but it
Yes.
becomes hidden and uncovered. That
Yes.
hidden and uncovered means that that soul or I-ness, it that organ that.
Yeah. So basically, Advaita Vedanta tells very clearly, based on the Upanishads, this I or consciousness or the self is not the object, it is a subject. When it is a pure consciousness, pure awareness, neither it can contract nor it can expand because it is not an object at all. Whether it's a gross object or subtle object, then only it can expand and contract, isn't it? Even space can expand. Today science is saying galaxies are expanding. Even our Milky Way galaxy is expanding, we say. Galaxy is nothing but a space first and foremost. Afterwards, it has got stars, it has got a moon or a planets or a comets or whatever. Basically, it's a space. So space is getting expanded, it says. That means what? It is a subtle matter. So Advaita Vedanta, when it says, so they are telling, I mean, based on experience and logic and the scriptures, that I am that self, which is subject, which is never the object. So that's why I am indestructible. That is the reason I am never taken birth and nor I die. So I cannot expand, I cannot contract. So basically, there can be no change in me. In me means this me refers to the consciousness. Okay, so that's the one thing. And hidden and covered means what? That is again cognitively. Hidden and covered where? In your mind, actually. For example, there is a glass and there is a beautiful, so I think it is a mid-afternoon in the India now, you have got a sunlight, beautiful sunlight. Now you put a thick layer of a cloth or a thick layer of a paper on the glass, your window glass. What happens? You will get some light to your room, in your room, but the amount of light gets, reduced. Why? What is the change? There is no change in the sun. There is no change in the called reflecting medium called glass, window glass, but you are getting less light. Why? Because your reflecting medium glass called glass has been covered with the thick piece of paper. Then you replace it by slowly thin papers. So the more and more it becomes thinner, you will get more and more light. So there is no change in the glass, there is no change in the sun, but your experience is getting difference because of the change in the thickness of the paper. So similarly, because there is a layer of ignorance has covered your mind or our mind or my mind, as a result, I'm not able to understand, I'm not able to experience, or rather, I'm not able to get convinced I am the self, not the body and mind. So then what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to remove the cloth. You are supposed to clean the glass so that I can get the complete light. So all my sadhana, you are doing japa, you are doing meditation, you are attending classes, you are trying to understand Vedanta, you are trying to think time and again. By doing all the things, what you are doing it, you are removing the dirt of the mind and you are trying to convince the mind, or in Swamiji's language, we are all trying to dehypnotize the mind. I am not the body and mind. I am not the body and mind. I am not the body and mind. We are trying to dehypnotize the mind. Okay. That's what Swamiji says, hidden and covered, but becomes hidden and covered now and again. Okay. Now, when it comes to that, this contraction and the expansion in the Jaina philosophy, according to the Jainism, they say soul contracts or expands to fit the size and shape of the body it inhabits. So if a person has got a very stout body, that means probably soul will be bigger. And if he has got a thin and lean body, probably soul will be thinner. That's what according to Jain philosophy. This is one of the their argument. And also according to them, the souls, there is a capacity for soul for modification. And but the consciousness remain unchanged, they say. But again, they say that there can be contraction, there is a expansion and all. Anyhow, so that is what we see in the Jain philosophy. And in the Nyaya Vaisheshika, they also accept that the Atman or the consciousness is all-pervading, it is eternal, it is infinite, but they use the word substance. They use the word substance. They say that they say the contract and expand, not physical contract and expand. They say it is contract and expand is mostly, it is from the cognitive level. It is cognitive level. In the lower forms of life, like animals and all. So the manifestation of the consciousness or the knowledge is less. So that's why it is said to be that contract. It is the soul has been contracted. So in the more and more higher animals in the, say, human being, so the manifestation of the consciousness is more. That's why it is called expanded. So it is not the physical expansion in the Nyaya Vaisheshika, rather it is a cognitive expansion, cognitive contraction, according to the Nyaya Vaisheshika. Now, according to the Jainism, they feel that no, it is literally based on the size of the body, so the nature of the soul takes the shape. Just like you pour the water in a small vessel, it takes that shape. Then if you shift the water to the bigger vessel, then the water it occupies the more space, isn't it? So like that, then Jains argue that. So one is physical expansion and contraction according to the Jainism, and Nyaya Vaisheshika, they say that it is a cognitive expansion and cognitive contraction. I hope you are clear now.
Yes. Hey, my friend, I must tell you a few harsh truths. I read in the newspaper how, when one of our fellows is murdered or ill treated by an Englishman, howls go up all over the country. I read and I weep. And the next moment comes to my mind the question, who is responsible for it all? As a Vedantist, I cannot but put that question to myself. The Hindu is a man of introspection. He wants to see things in and through himself, through the subjective vision. I therefore ask myself, who is responsible? And the answer comes every time, not the Englishman. No, no, they are not responsible. It is we who are responsible for all our misery and all our degradation, and we alone are responsible. Our aristocratic ancestors went on treading the common masses of our country underfoot till they became helpless, till under this torment the poor people nearly forgot that they are human beings. They have been compelled to be merely hewers of woods and drawers of water for centuries, so much so that they are made to believe that they are born as slaves, born as hewers of wood and drawers of water. With all our boasted education of modern times, if anybody says a kind word for them, I often find our men shrink at once from the duty of lifting them up, these poor downtrodden people. Not only so, but I also find that all sorts of most demonical and brutal arguments culled from the crude ideas of hereditary transmission and other such gibberish from the West world are brought forward in order to brutalize and tyrannize over the poor all the more. At the Parliament of Religion in America, there came among others a young man, a born Negro, a real African Negro, and he made a beautiful speech. I became interested in the young man and now and then talked to him, but could learn nothing about him. But one day in England I met some Americans, and this is what they told me. This boy was the son of a Negro chief who lived in the heart of Africa, and that one day another chief became angry with the father of this boy and murdered him and murdered the mother also, and they were cooked and eaten. He ordered the child to be killed also and cooked and eaten, but the boy fled, and after passing through great hardships and having travelled a distance of several hundreds of miles, he reached the seashore, and there he was taken into an American vessel and brought over to America. And this boy made that speech. After that, what was I to think of your doctrine of heredity? So here
Yeah.
Swamiji is telling that for all our sufferings we ourselves are responsible.
Mm. Yes. So Swamiji has told very clearly, we have got the highest philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, first point. Second, we have got the beautiful scriptures called Vedas. Apart from that, we have got wealth, we have got intelligence, everything we had. But in spite of all this, we were ruled time and again from the foreign invasion, from the foreign rulers, or from the foreign agencies. Why? If you ask, we say, because we were quarreling each other. There was a lack of unity among us. That's the one standard answer which our history textbooks and our history teachers have told for us. That may be to a certain extent fine, but it is not so. So Swami is saying that because the masses were ill-treated. So basically, there was an untouchability which has eaten the backbone of the India. This is a one big mistake our forefathers did. It's according to Swami Vivekananda. One is untouchability. Or okay, you belong to the lower caste, you belong to the lower thing, so you should not touch me. Or basically, their individuality was killed. That's the one thing. And the second was neglect of women. So these are the two great sin were committed by Indians. As a result, we paid heavy price, according to Swami Vivekananda. Now, if you see, quite interestingly, if you study the world history, it is the same thing everywhere. Even if you see the French Revolution, the mother of revolution in the Western countries, it started by freedom, fraternity, and liberty. And from there, all other revolutions happened in the West, including American Revolution. So basically, there are also clergy people and the bureaucrats and aristocrats and all. They were also just like sucking the blood of the common people. So common people were kicked, common people were made as slaves, and even in Middle East and Africans and all, there is sex slaves and so many other things. So this was quite common in other countries also, and that was also in India also. And woman was also ill-treated or mistreated in the Western countries also. We can see a lot of history, and same thing with India also. Then why we were ruled? It is not that we were only ruled. Even in the other countries also, there were a lot of conflicts. They were ruled each other. And if you see the whole history or the Western history, this is easily we can see all these things. But from the point of Indian history, so I'm just telling very clearly, there was from our forefathers, the masses were neglected, so much so that their individuality was being removed, or it was been stamped, so much so that people had lost the individuality. That was one of the reason why we were ruled by the foreign agencies, according to Swami Vivekananda. And now, if there are any problems in India, who is the reason? There can be some reasons from other countries because they ruled us or they're mistreating us, etc. All these things fine. But the main reason is what? In us only. Because there need to be confidence in ourselves. There should be confidence on our religion, on our country. There can be small problems, there can be concerns, there can be challenges, there can be loopholes in us. We should make it correct and we should go further. Instead of that, because of this negative mindset, because of lack of confidence, negative mindset comes. Because of negative mindset, whatever is there in India, the best thing may be, but we feel it is not right. And whatever it may be best or worst in West, and we say that is the best. Of course, now things are changing, no doubt, but that's what happened earlier. And because of that, India had to pay a heavy price. And all that because negative mindset came from where? Lack of confidence. And lack of confidence came from where? Because of the mistreating of the masses. As a race, that's what it has been developed. So, according to Swamiji. And he also gives the one more example of the prince, I think, Momalo Mascu, I think. He was the prince of the Liberia country. So his father and mother was killed. So they were killed and eaten possibly. And this boy flew and he came to America and all. He's telling the story. So this is there in other countries or in other civilizations also, no doubt. And it was in India also. So basically, Swamiji is telling very clearly here, one should have a confidence and one should treat people equally, or rather we should feel there should be freedom for people to work out their desires and other things. There should be a chance and freedom for people, and which is happening now in India and elsewhere also. Yeah.
It is easy to find out the way of reconciliation that will not hurt the dualists or the qualified monists.
No.
Sorry. That is why
Brahmins, if the Brahmin has more aptitude for learning.
Brahmins, if the Brahmin has more aptitude for learning on the ground of hereditary than the Pariah, spend no more money on the Brahmin's education, but spend all on the Pariah. Give to the weak, for there all the gifts is needed. If the Brahmin is born clever, he can educate himself without help. If the others are not born clever, let them have all the teachings and the teachers they want. This is justice and reason as I understand it. Our poor people, these downtrodden masses of India, therefore require to hear and to know what they really are. Let every man and woman and child, without respect of caste or birth, weakness or strength, hear and learn that behind the strong and the weak, behind the high and the low, behind everyone, there is that infinite soul, assuring the infinite possibility and the infinite capacity of all to become great and good. Let us proclaim to every soul, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Bara Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Arise, awake from this hypnotism of weakness. None is really weak. The soul is infinite, omnipotent, and omniscient. Stand up, assert yourself, proclaim the God within you. Do not deny Him. Too much of inactivity, too much of weakness, too much of Hypnotism has been and is upon our race. Oh, ye modern Hindus, dehypnotize yourselves. The way to do that is found in your own sacred books. Teach yourselves, teach everyone his real nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when the sleeping soul is roused to self conscious activity. A. If there is anything in the Gita that I like, it is these two verses coming out strong as the very gist, the very essence of Krishna's teaching. He who sees the Supreme Lord dwelling alike in all beings, the imperishable in things that perish, he sees indeed. For seeing the Lord as the same, everywhere present, he does not destroy the self by the self, and thus he goes to the highest goal.
Yeah, it's a very powerful paragraph.
Yes. So, Swamiji says that everybody should get the chance to know the true nature, and so so if the downtrodden masses must be helped in all ways to understand this their true capacity to potential uh, within themselves. So this is again that we have to dehypnotize ourselves. That is the main thing, and we have to help others to dehypnotize also.
Okay. Any other answers?
Maharaj,
Yes,
what
to educate. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
please.
continue.
Please.
So to educate and uplift the weak, not the privileged class only. And also at the last, he says that every human, regardless of birth, caste, has the same divine soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 2, 3 very important and very, it can be controversial statements also, like if I say all these things, if I call out and say it actually. So first and foremost, Swami is speaking of Advaita Vedanta. All souls are pure and perfect. Why? They're intrinsically divine. Okay. Now, maybe someone is born in the Brahmin, someone is born in Vaishya, someone is born in Shudra, someone is born in Kshatriya or whatever. Okay, for discussion's sake, if Brahmin is born clever, it is naturally they are clever people. If you say that, then don't spend money on them. Rather spend on money on the weaker people so that they can also come to their level, to the Brahmin's level. Means what? To that intellect level or to that studies and other things. So basically, he's not telling that Brahmin should not be allowed to come up and other castes should come up. Or he's not also telling that, okay, neglect Brahmins and you should allow others, or do or in otherwise. Rather, he's telling that whichever caste, whichever caste and whichever class is weak in the society, and give them importance. If someone is socially weak, you give them that social fabric, nature, and other support. If someone is intellectually weak, then you give them that support. If someone is financially weak, then you give them that support so that they can come up to the level. And someone is in mediocre, someone is well-to-do, then you don't need it. So reservation policy in some way is accepting it actually, and at the same time it should not be based on any hereditary or any caste. Rather, it should be based on necessity. So I'm just saying that whoever is weak, you give him, you support him to come up. So generally our reservation system becomes caste based. It is right or wrong, I'm not speaking, only saying that whoever is weak, you give that. That's what even Ambedkar also says in the constitution. If particular caste or particular person, family is weak, any caste maybe, you help them maybe in 1 or 2 generations. By the time they will become all right, then you should remove the reservation for them. Even Ambedkar has also said in the constitution, that's what I have heard. Anyway, it has not happened. So this is there in every country in a different forms, in social system, social security, in West or in caste system or whatever is in India and others countries. So Swami is telling very clearly there should be freedom, there should be opportunity for everyone equally. First point. Second thing, if there is some weak people, and you should give extra opportunity for them, extra chance or extra support for them. That's what Swami is telling very clearly. And why we should give? Because everyone is what? Self, the human being. I mean, human beings are nothing but the manifestation of that divinity. So as a result, so he is also speaking of social philosophy, humanistic philosophy based on Vedanta. Why should I help others? Or because they are all like brothers and sisters, are fellow human beings. This is what socialism, socialistic humanistic philosophy says. Now Advaitic Vedanta humanistic philosophy says that because everyone is divine, so that's the reason we should help each other. And there's only one self which is manifested or reflected in every body as a medium. So as a result, by helping each other, I am helping myself actually. And he's speaking Uttishta Jagrata Prapya Varanya Bhutata. This is a part of Kathopanishad actually. So arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And arise from where? From the weakness. What is that weakness? I am weak, I am body and mind, I can do this, I can't do this. All these things, nonsense ideas come out from that. It is not mere in thinking, rather it is more hypothesis, it is the fact, and it is that's what our Vedanta Upanishad is saying that. So dehypnotize yourself. I am not the body and mind, I am not the weak creature, rather I am the self. Self means what? Atman means what? It is the science of infinite possibilities. When I say I am the self or Atman, consciousness, eternal, indestructible self, when I say that means what? I have got a lot of power, infinite possibilities I can get. That's what he says. When you teach everyone his real nature, call upon the sleeping soul, and you see it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when this sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. And Hari the lion, the standard story, which we all know that probably, then we can remember here. The lion, the one pregnant lion, when she was trying to catch the prey, and she fell down, and she gave a birth to the cub, and the lion died. And the cub in the flock of sheep, it was growing, and it also started behaving like a sheep. Then on some point of time, on one day, jungle lion from jungle saw, and it was astounded. This being a lion, it is in between in the midst of the flock of sheep, and it is also eating grass like any other sheep. Then it was terrified. It came to catch a goat or a sheep, but when he saw, it went and it caught the lion. The lion which was among the sheep lion was crying, please leave me, I want to go away with my friends or with my brothers and sisters or whatever. Then the lion said, you are not a sheep, you are a lion. The sheep lion said, no, I am the sheep, I am not the lion. Then the jungle lion, forest lion, took the sheep lion to the nearby water body, and it said, see the reflections, both of our reflections. Then both of our reflections matches. Then the forest lion says, you are not the sheep, my dear, you are the lion. Then it took some time for it to understand and get convinced. When it got convinced, it asked him to the roaring, and the slowly sheep lion, instead of making a sound meow, 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 it started roaring. Then afterwards it started eating the flesh and other things. Then it became it started feeling that I am a lion, and it went into the forest along with the forest lion. It was lion, it is lion, it will be lion, but only it had forgotten its real nature, and it was behaving like a sheep. So when we start understanding that I am the soul, I am the self, not the body and mind, then all the power will come. How can we say the power will come, glory will come the moment I understand I am the self? Why? Because the resistance will be reduced. If you think I am the body and mind, that means your knowledge is lessened, so that the flow of energy or the channel will be reduced. As a result, a lot of wastage of energy will be there, and the manifestation of the divinity will be less. For example, if you are thinking strongly that you are the body and mind, you can become physically fit and enough, no doubt, but you can achieve something, no doubt, but you will lose many things. Then you start attach yourself to the body, mind and intellect. For like scientists and all, what happens? Then they do a lot of research work actually. Then in the spiritual people, if you see, then they start thinking about they are the self, the rishis and all. With that mindset, they can do any innovations and discoveries in the materialistic life and also in the spiritual life. Why? From the body to the self, what happens? The more and more you are becoming subtle, you are getting attached to that, to the subtle things, then your energy gets expanded. Or the manifestation of energy gets expanded, the resistance will be reduced. As a result, when I start understanding I'm the self and not the body and mind, I can do many things actually. That's what we all see in all the great people. They were able to achieve many things. Why? Because of the manifestation of that divinity. So how Vedanta can help us to remove the disparity in the society? How Vedanta can help us to remove the weakness in our body and mind? How the Vedanta can help us to achieve the success in the external life and also in the internal life has been told beautifully by Swamiji in this para. So teach yourselves, teach everyone that I am the soul, self, which is indestructible in nature, which I am divine in nature. The more and more I think and understand and I start believing and manifesting, I can achieve anything and everything. That is what, according to the Swami Vivekananda. And Swamiji is quoting 2-3, I think one is Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata, ubhayor drushtonto tanayo tattva darshibi. That's the one thing. And also in the Gita, 13th chapter, 27 and 28th verse is also telling. He's quoting that 13th chapter, 27 and 28 verses. Yeah. All right. Any questions?
No, Maharaj, there is no question but a statement. There is a statement is there that this by this equality, the Bengal has gone to ruins. Because the earlier regime, the whole land was distributed and everything by equal and support the weaks and all this. And there's a negative factor for this. This is what I'm trying to say.
You are right. You are right. No, that is why, because illogical way, and they say equality, they say that, but they don't practice it actually.
Yeah.
They use it as a political tool actually. If you really feel that we are all equal and if you give opportunity, there's no problem. But their intentions are not pure and they do wrong things and all. That's the reason. In the name of equality, they do all their nonsense actually. But and also Swamiji is telling very clearly, whoever is weak, you have to give more, support for them. Yeah.
But the support should be to get, means help him to achieve something, not means live like parasites, right? So that is the
Yes, you are
problem.
right.
That is the problem.
Mm. Yeah, that is also there. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Maharaj, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Good morning. Since the daylight saving has started, you joined this call early. Maharaj,
Sorry, I didn't understand what you mean.
since the daylight saving has started, Maharaj, I think you've joined the day early for us. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Maharaj, since this today's topic, uh, since Swami Vivekananda raised a statement on dualistic philosophy, I would like to ask one comparison, a quick comparison, Maharaj, between dualistic and Advaita Vedanta. Uh, the only question that I had was, or maybe I'd like to share the recent experience that I had, Maharaj. The very first statement Maharaj Swami Vivekananda mentioned was, being in the following the dualistic philosophy, we tend to become soft and weak, and we get a lot of fears, or we start to be. Uh, so my recent experience that I had was, I've been to Jagannath recently, Puri Jagannath. There, I felt I didn't feel the absence of manas, mostly in other temples, or maybe I'm not sure how it is for others. When I actually went to Balaji, Tirupati Balaji, there I actually feel the absence of mind, it's complete absence, it's silence, something like that. But here, I felt my manas, my mind is completely full, my bucket is completely full with the Jagannath's presence there. So this comparison, what the question that I had was, in the Advaitic philosophy, if we see all these slokas that Shankaracharya has narrated, all the deities that we have, Ganesha and Dakshinamurti and everybody, he's, he's putting a statement or a representation there that this is the Swarupa, this is the characteristics of that Rupa, and we have to understand this characteristic, we have to understand this Rupa,
What
and
is your question? You tell me.
I think I
What is your
told my
question?
question, I found the answer myself by
Okay, thank you. That's good.
speaking, I think by going through the statements, what I'm trying to do. Yeah, thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah.
So Maharaj, today I tried to say the gist in one line.
Yeah.
Okay, Maharaj. So
We'll meet in next year.
best wishes for your India tour.
Yeah. India pilgrimage.
Yes.
Pilgrimage to India.
Yes.
Okay, Jai
Thank
Ram Krishna. Keep well. Let us meet next year.
Thank you,
Jai Ram
Maharaj.
Krishna. Swamiji, thank you so much.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Pranam Maharaj.